As of this morning, please continue to stay off the roads. Some streets remain flooded, and there are various roads with broken down cars, and tow trucks continue to remove these to improve traffic flow. Again, please stay off the roads. We also ask residents to be patient, as this was some say, a 1,000-year storm. It even resulted in the National Weather Service issuing a very rare flash flood emergency alert. We expect the flooding to subside through the coming hours and have seen improvements in certain areas. Most areas will need to drain naturally just because of the extreme amount of water. But we are strategically using vacuum trucks in certain areas. The Red Cross arrived earlier this morning to assist with a staging site at Winn-Dixie near State Road 84 and 9th Avenue. Individuals impacted by the flooding have been taken to the staging area and have been provided with blankets and coffee. We've established a reunification center at Holiday Park, and that's for the community to use. That's at the recreation center in Holiday Park. Today, we are beginning to assess the damage and will continue to connect with emergency management leaders on the federal and state levels for assistance if it's deemed necessary. I want to thank the offices of Senator Marco Rubio, the White House, and Broward Sheriff's Office, all of whom contacted me personally to see if they could lend assistance for this emergency that we are now suffering through. We appreciate their concerns and outreach, and has already concern from these governments, and we appreciate that. City facilities will be closed to the public today, as we'll be focusing on emergency operations and recovery. There may be delays for trash pickup, and the Circuit and Lauderdale Go shuttle services will also be delayed, as certain roads are impassable. Parking enforcement is suspended. This storm has highlighted the importance of continuing our municipal efforts to address climate resiliency and upgrade critical infrastructure. The city has been investing heavily in raising seawalls and improving stormwater and flood control systems in low-lying areas. As it happens, we are in the midst of a 5-year, $200 million plan to alleviate these vulnerabilities, focusing on our most flood-prone areas. We're installing more tidal control valves and drainage pipes, building new outfall connections and drainage structures, creating new catch basins, rebuilding swales, and constructing stormwater reserves. This represents the largest investment in city history in stormwater and flood control. This administration and this City Commission is wholeheartedly committed to continuing and expanding this work. The City Manager and his team are now available to answer any specific questions, and I thank you for your being here. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yes, Mayor Dean. People feel like this really caught everybody off guard, and I was in it myself, actually. And do you think that there could be any drainage? It didn't seem like the drainage was working really the way it should. I know this was unprecedented, but could this be possibly due to things like overdevelopment?
The development and stormwater are two separate issues altogether. What we're seeing here is a 1,000-year incident. No city could have planned for this. No weather forecasting service could have warned us of this. The point is that this city is continuing and committed to making sure that we are the most sustainable and resilient city in Florida. Let's face it. Fort Lauderdale is a flat city. It's sea level, perhaps in the highest areas is maybe 10 feet. And when you're surrounded by water, we're the Venice of America. We're going to continue to be challenged by water impact such as these. So development and stormwater drainage are two entirely different subjects. Thank you.
Mayor, when we're talking about people trying to get where they need to go, obviously there are some roads that are taking more precedent over others in terms of the amount of flooding that we're seeing. What are some of those areas that you guys are really focused on in terms of the main arteries that where we're just not seeing that water receding the way maybe you want to and we want to?
So I will say this, I've driven around the city and there's not one area of the city that has not been impacted. Last night especially, there were roads, almost every part of the city has been impacted. This morning, driving around the city again, we find that a lot of the waters have receded, but there are certain areas that the water is just not draining as quickly. We anticipate that will eventually happen, but in the meantime, there are people whose living rooms who got flooded. There are people who can't even walk out their front door because the water's up to their front door.